Hey everyone, James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me on this pretty heavy video, a video that I was hesitant to make, but it needs to be addressed. Now, in my 10 years of doing Junkyard Fox, I have made just exactly one video involving drama, just one, and that was to put that cockroach in his place, Mount Kephart, Dutch Blackfeather, whatever name he goes by these days, and that moron deserved it. However, this one's a little bit more complicated because I'm going to have to call out somebody who I was a business partner with at some point. I considered a friend, I trusted in, I had a lot of sympathy for, and at this point, he is nothing more than a thief. And we're going to be talking about Woody Smith from Wood Steel Knives. Now, Woody Smith has taken people's money for over 3 years for him to make a knife for them, and he has not either given them a refund or made the damn knife. And at this point, I've just given up on him, not only as a business partner, as a maker, but as a human being. I'm just overly just done with his excuses. And so it's time we talk about it. Now, let's wind the clocks back a couple of years in case you guys need the full story. Woody Smith is a knife maker, and I had a knife design. I had a knife idea back in like 2019, 2020 called the Snake Eater. And it's this one right here. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a knife that was very old world, like an 1800s type of butcher style knife, like a Green River Hunter, and just modernize it. So, keep the belly, keep the thin blade. So it's great for processing game. That's something I do a lot, whether it's gutting fish or, cutting up a rabbit, so on and so forth. Also, I like to cook a lot too. So something that's great for cooking when you're out camping, stuff like that. So you get that. But at the same time, update the materials. And then, of course, you get a little multi-grind here. So it starts off as a Scandi. So while I'm out in the wilderness, I can carve notches to make figure 4 deadfalls, carve a spoon, a spatula, stuff like that. And, I was a far smaller channel then. I had a lot less pull. I had a lot less, I was an underdog back then. So with that mentality, with this design that I had in mind, I wanted to find an underdog myself. I didn't want to go with one of the big boy knife makers like LT Wright or Bark River, William Collins. There's nothing wrong with those guys. Those companies are top dogs for a reason because they're just professional and all that good stuff. But once again, I guess I was more naive. I guess I was more idealistic at the time. And I wanted to find an underdog that he can get a piece of the pie. He can get attention. And so I sought out several different knife makers, and I ended up finding Woody Smith on Instagram. I liked his work. I reached out to him. I told him the idea that I had for the knife, and he was on board. And to his credit, we had a lot during that time. We had a lot of great communication, and we ended up coming up with the prototype. There's his logo right there, the woodpecker. After I got this knife, which I was very happy with, I used it for a couple months. I came back with some feedback so I can modernize it and do some slight tweaking. And finally, of course, we ended up with the final version. And I gotta say, truth be told, I love this knife. This is my favorite knife of all time. Obviously, there's gonna be some bias there because it is my knife design. Just like the way we think our kids are the most beautiful kids in the world, even if they're possibly hideous, or our pets, And so, of course, there's bias there. But truth be told, I have used hundreds of knives. And to this day, this one works the best for me. Once again, it's all subjective. But what I like doing is a lot of hunting and foraging and catching cooks and cooking up good food, stews and jambalaya when I'm out camping. And this works beautifully for that. I'm also able, of course, it still has a Scandi, so I can do some whittling and carving and feather sticking and all that good stuff. So this is around 2020. And the knife was a phenomenal success. And here I thought, well, I'm happy with my knife, but what if we make this a big thing? What if we make multiple snake eaters and sell them? It's a good way to make some money for both himself and I. And we did just that. And the first year was a phenomenal success. People were very happy with their knives. And I mean, even then, I was to get a commission for every snake eater sold since it's my idea. But I mean, he would sell them for like $300 and I would get like $7. I went really low on my percentage just because it wasn't about the money. I wanted to get my knife idea out there and I wanted to prop him up, kind of give him a platform because he's a little known guy And I think it's good to kind of shed light on some of the lesser makers and stuff like that, and get their work out there, get their work on the internet and YouTube. He was a small. I think he only had like 500 followers on Instagram during this time. Once again, the first 2 years were great. 2020, 2021, outstanding stuff. I mean, I got along with him so much that, I mean, once again, I considered him a friend. He lives in Washington, and at one point back in 2021, I flew up there because my brother and his wife were living in Seattle at the time, and I even drove a couple of hours to visit him. And I got to meet his family, and we filmed some videos for YouTube and stuff. And he was a sweetheart of a guy. Sadly, I guess I was fooled, or things have happened between here and there that have changed him permanently, and I've just lost all confidence in him, not only as a business partner, not only as a friend, but as a human being. Around 2022, I noticed there's a change in Woody. There's a change in his energy. He's no longer putting posts as often on his Instagram or his YouTube page. He's, when we discuss things through messages, he's not as enthusiastic. There's something wrong, and to this day, I don't know what it is. I don't know if there was illness in his family, or with him, or a death in the family, depression, anything. Whatever the case it was, I do not know. All I know is something happened that kind of really knocked the wind out of his sails. Now, I'm not a monster. Life has a tendency to sneak up on you when you least expect it and kick you in the nuts. And when you're on the floor, it'll kick you some more. If it hasn't happened to you, it will happen. Trust me, it's a guarantee. And so I understand that if he needs to grieve, if he needs to just kind of process these emotions, or maybe process things in the physical realm, finances, whatever the case may be that he's going through, take your time, of course. And he wasn't obligated to tell me anything that's going on. I'm the kind of person that if you want to vent, if you want to confide in me, I'm all ears. And also, if you don't want to, and we're not that close, I'm also not going to stick my nose where it doesn't belong. So I respect people in that sense. And once again, to this day, I don't know what happened. All I know is something big happened, and he kind of really slowed down dramatically on making knives. And so, of course, people are still ordering snake eaters, and he's not making them. I'm starting to get comments on my YouTube videos. I'm starting to get messages on my Instagram. Hey, I ordered a knife from Woody 2 years ago, and I still don't have anything, stuff like that. So I'm the middleman because I'm the face of this knife. Once again, this is, it's his logo on it because he made it, but my logo's on it because, of course, it's my knife design. So it makes sense people are going to come to me, especially because he hasn't been active. So, of course, they see me on videos and stuff. They're going to reach out to me first. And here I am as the middleman trying to keep the customers happy and trying to keep him happy. And so I reach out, I constantly messaging him like, hey, Woody, what's going on? With this person, can you reach back to them? And so on and so forth. And it went on like that all through 2022. Now, in May of 2022, I lost my snake eater, my finalized one. So I had the prototype, and then I had my final 001. And they're all numbered. So they're all numbered. So each one is special in that sense. And this one's a clone. I lost my 001. And I was devastated. Of course, the first thing I do immediately is I reach out to Woody Smith, and I'm like, hey, Woody, can you put me on the list to order a new snake eater because I need to replace my 001. Now, making knives takes a while. You can't rush a masterpiece, and there's obviously orders before me, I'm sorry. And so there's nothing crazy with a knife taking 8 months, taking a year. Some knife makers are so in demand that you're waiting 10 years to get that knife, like a Ramir's Woodlore or a Skookum Bush tool. But Woody's not that popular, so he couldn't have been that behind. Of course, he agrees to make it for me, but I know it's going to take a while, especially because he had slowed down quite a bit. So in my impatience, because I didn't want to wait 8 months or a year for a new finalized snake eater, I ended up buying one that somebody already previously owned from the first batch. So this is the 005. I bought this one from the YouTube channel Q Talks, and I just needed a user in the meantime, and I bought this one. And so that way I wasn't badgering him about my knife and stuff like that. And what I noticed is this one, the tang veers a little bit this way. And so I reached out to Woody once again. I told him, hey, I bought a secondhand snake eater, but the tang is off. Can I send it to you so you can, reheat treat it and straighten it out, or whatever he has to do to straighten it out? And he's like, no problem. That's under warranty. I'll make you another one for that. So now I have 2 snake eaters waiting, along with other people, on theirs. Long story short, I never got those knives to this day. It's already been 2.5 years. Never got them. I don't expect to ever get them. And so here we are. Oh, by the way, a little side tangent of this story is I did end up being surprised a couple months after losing my knife on this one. This is an exact replica of the one I lost. A longtime viewer, Nathan from Free America, he reached out to Woody secretly, and he had commissioned one to make for me. So I'm forever grateful for that. So that's an exact replica of that one that I lost. So I just needed to put that there just in case someone had questions why that one's there. But once again, he's slowing down. And he slowed down to the point that I'm just like telling people we no longer make that knife because he's just so behind at this point. And once again, I am sympathetic to whatever life throws your way. You're going to stumble in life. You're going to be sad. You're going to be struggling. But life goes on, guys, especially when you took somebody's money. And you either give them their money back or you give them their product. And he's just taking forever to do neither of them. He's not doing anything. He's not posting anything. And so let's fast forward to August 31st, 2023. Over a year that I had placed the orders for those 2 knives. At this point, I'm tired of it. And I reached out to him and I'm like, Woody, take the snake eater off your website. Don't offer it anymore. We had a good run, but that's it. I'm tired of hearing these comments that people aren't getting their stuff. And over here, he's just taking forever. I'm trying to be understanding, but at the same time, business is business. And so I told him to take the snake eater off and just catch up with the last of the orders. In fact, cancel mine that I had saved that he was supposed to make so other people can get theirs. And he even tells me, no, yours is already made. You're still going to get it because it's already made. I just need to put handles or something along those lines. That was August 31st of 2023. As of today, it is August 20th, 2024, almost a year. Still never got that knife supposedly he had already stamped. And so, my patience is wearing thin. This year in April, I told him, Woody, you got to send everybody their refunds. Pay people back their money because you're not making the knives. And he says, I don't have that money anymore. I spent it on the supplies. And I was like, well, and if that's the case, you have to make a video addressing your situation. People will understand. I don't know what he's going through, but people will understand whether you made a video and you address illness or a death in the family or depression or whatever the case may be. People will understand. But the worst thing you can do is not do anything at all. It looks bad on him and it looks bad on me because my logo is on this damn knife. And sure enough, he makes a video. I had to drag him to make a damn video on, addressing the situation. And even then he's vague about what happened. All he's saying is, things have happened that I'd rather not discuss. That's fine. He has a right to his privacy. But he starts saying, oh, I have this one right here that I'm working on and this one I'll ship out next week, showing some blade blanks and stuff like that in the background. Still never made those knives. So now during early summer this year, you guys know that I got a pretty severe injury. I got nerve damage. I can't work. To this day, I can't work. I'm living on potatoes and ramen right now. And I'm just stressed about, what am I going to do to make ends meet? What am I going to do to pay my bills because I can't work? And the whole community on YouTube rallied behind me. And I will never forget this. I will never forget how much people cared. And they sent donations. They sent prayers. They sent legal advice on all this stuff. And I could never make that up to you guys. I could never truly pay you guys back for that amount of love and support, but I can try. So these last couple of months, I've been a busy bee trying to put together some really cool giveaway items so I can have this massive giveaway. I mean, several items are being given away, not just one. And pretty much I have everything, but I would love to give away those 2 snake eaters. Once again, I have 3 right now, the prototype, the user, and then that replica of 001. So I don't need 2 more snake eaters in my collection. But people would love to get them because people have been asking for years, where can I order your knife? And I've just been telling them we don't make it anymore. So I reached out to Woody once again, like a clown that I am at this point. Woody, what's the status on these knives? I would love to give them away. Sure thing, brother. Just a couple more days. It's been 2 months. At this point, I have given up entirely on Woody Smith. I reached out to him 3 days ago, and I was like, Woody, let's cut the crap. You're no longer making knives. And don't tell me that you're moving slow or that you have a day job. It doesn't matter. I had a day job for years and I was still making Junkyard Fox videos. If you have the drive, you'll do it. You'll get things done, especially when there's money involved. And I'm like, you're not going to make those knives. I need the information of everybody that you owe a knife to and the amount that they paid, and I'll figure something out with them. Send me that information so I can contact them and I'll figure something out. I don't have money right now. Once again, I am not working, so I can't be giving them the full refunds of the money that Woody took. But if I have to, I will give away my own damn snake eaters to these people because I'm not going to lose the viewers' trust in me because of this clown gave up on living life. He took a stumble and never got back up. That's not my business, but it is my business when he took people's money and he's ghosted them. Once again, I'm still waiting for those 2 knives. Not only that, but as a business partner too. Now, I know somebody's going to wonder, or somebody's going to comment, well, you're getting a part of that money because you get a percentage of every snake eater. That's not so. That is not accurate. The first year, 2021, he did send me a check for like 125 or 130 because he sold like 13 of them the first batch. And so I got a percentage of that. I never got another payment after that. Now, to be fair, I did tell him back when I had told him to take the knife off the website, I did tell him, just whatever money you owe me, just keep it. Just keep it for your shop. Whatever he's going through, he possibly needs the money. That's fine. And so, once again, it's difficult for me to do this because I considered him a friend and I have a lot of sympathy for him because, once again, clearly some tragedy has occurred in his life. But 3 years is 3 years. Now, regardless of how bad you have fallen in life in terms of despair or whatever situation, life goes on, okay? You can't just lay in bed, sad, grieving, and the landlord's not going to charge rent because, oh, he's sad, so let's let him live here for a year for free. That's not the way the world works. And if you don't take out the trash on a Thursday night, in the morning, the trash man isn't going to look for it. They're just going to pass your house. You have to get up and you have to keep living life. And clearly he's not. He's just given up on life. But he's just taking people's money, taking people's trust, and my reputation along with it. And that to me is unacceptable. You want to give up, but make things right. He says he doesn't have any money anymore. Sell your TV. He's an avid outdoorsman. Sell your other knives, or at the very least, reach out to them and tell them, hey, I'm no longer making knives. I apologize. Would you be interested in me sending you this rare knife that I have, this vintage knife, this vintage pack, whatever. Something. Do anything but the inaction he has done. And so that's where I'm just like really just sick of his shit. Now, luckily, he didn't rip off thousands of people. To the best of my knowledge, if I had to take an estimate, he's probably behind 12, 13 orders. That's feasible. I could figure something out to make things right on my end. If I have to give away my hidden woodsman pack or my tough possum haversack, something to appease these people that have been ripped off, I'll do what I can on my end. I'm picking up another grown man's mess because he refuses to man up. Somebody's got to take initiative for this. Somebody's got to take responsibility, and I'll do so myself because at the end of the day, this is my fault. I'm the one who propped them up. I'm the one who gave him exposure, and it was a mistake, clearly. And so once again, guys, I apologize to everybody out there that is out of a knife and out of their money. So if you are one of those people, please reach out to me on Instagram, something on Patreon if you're a Patreon member, and send me a receipt or a picture, the email, the confirmation, whatever that you're waiting for your knife, and we'll figure something out from my end. Once again, if I have to give away my own damn knives, I will do so. Screw it. And other than that, we need to come up with some kind of legal action. It's the first time I've ever been in this situation, but something to have his website shut down, have his Instagram shut down, and have him legally need to reimburse people that he kept money from. So that's why I have to make this ugly, public, messy video. And it sucks. It sucks. So if there's a silver lining from this, is that I never, even though I stopped making snake eater knives with Woody, I never pursued somebody else making it because I had this weird sense of loyalty to him that I felt bad. There was slight talks here and there, but I just never proceeded with people because of that. Now I don't care about him. Now I can care less. So I have no loyalty to him anymore. So I am in early talks with another knife maker to take over the design because there's still plenty of people interested in this blade. And to be fair, it is once again an outstanding blade. So fingers crossed, somebody can take over, someone who's responsible, someone who's a man of their word, and the Snake Eater can get a second lease on life. But once again, Woody Smith is not someone to be trusted. Woody Smith is someone who needs to face the consequences of his inaction more than anything. And I've just given up on him completely. And once again, I apologize because my foolishness, I sought somebody else when I should have gone with one of the established makers with a professional reputation. So that's about it for this video, guys. Once again, let's figure something out as a community. And once again, I am just very sorry to everybody. Please, once again, reach out to me, to whoever is waiting for a Snake Eater, and I'll figure something out on my end. Thank you.